Liverpool FC is hard as hell. United, Tottenham, Arsenal. Watch my list and I will spell. Cause they don't just play, but they can rap as well. Liverpool FC.
My idea was to build Liverpool into a bastion of invincibility, you know, like... Napoleon had that idea, he would conquer the bloody world.
Let's talk about our season as a whole. Obviously, everybody knows by now, we finished second on 97 points, which in any other year would have won us the league. I'm going to start, Sini, give me just a rough overall assessment of our season and how it's gone, in your opinion.
I think for us to even be able to turn around and say there's a bit of disappointment is ridiculous. What we've done in terms of the points, and obviously won Champions League. That's a successful season in most people's eyes. I just think the league, because it's the one trophy that we haven't got, and I think for any fan, I think they would have taken the league over the Champions League. Don't get me wrong, it still feels great to win it, but if you ask me, I'd still swap the Champions League.
Do you think City would have swapped as well?
100%.
Yeah, I think so as well.
And
Because
they
it's
lie
the
about
one
it,
you
don't
haven't
they?
got, right? That's it. It's the one you haven't got. It's the one part. It's pretty much the Thanos and gemstones, and you need them all. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
You want that last one to have the complete set, and that's the one that we want, and that's the one that we've got to go for, really. And I think in the summer, when summer comes, investment's going to have to be done, because if City is still adding, then everyone has to add.
Where would you add, Sini?
We definitely need backup for striker.
That sofa there is
100%.
fighting for this seat.
I was scared. Like,
No,
it's like they can see what's on the agenda, and like they just jump in. Like, you need to hold it a bit close to your chest, bro. They're 3 points ahead already.
You know, like, man, stay up working on this, you know, like, it's not just like come out of thin air, you know, work goes into it, you know.
Well, I thought you weren't gonna say it. I thought he was gonna go around. He was gonna go around the room first, yeah, maybe, and then come to signings later on.
I'll be quiet. Sorry.
Like, he's just on the edit. So back to you.
It was the perfect segue. It was the perfect segue. I'm good. I'm 100%.
I only speak when I'm smoking to you.
No, it's not even that. You know, man, just like Sam said, innit? I want to get everyone's view on the season. Do you know what I mean? People, I'm struggling here. Do you know what I mean? To keep hold of this. This is the second podcast. These lot have tried to take my throne, bruv. Like, damn.
There's too much South
Well,
London.
off the back of your original question, this is probably the best season I've seen us perform in my lifetime, if I'm honest. That's the
I'd
be all and
co-sign
end
that.
all.
I've said that before.
We've been in it all the way up until the final day,
final game.
and the final game of the actual season itself. We've come away with arguably the biggest trophy. Do you know what I mean? So in terms of seasons that I've witnessed, it's the best that I've seen.
Would you class this season as a failure, Paul?
No way. This even goes back to what Klopp was saying and what you said before. We were going down the talks or whatever. That I think certain managers are starting to, although they understand that fans need trophies, but they're trying to get people to think about what you're actually seeing, and if you've got a project, see if you can see a progression. Do you know what I mean? So if we did lose that final on Saturday, but we still won the and we came second, obviously, how can you say that's a failure?
But if you take the Champions League out of it, I'm saying the Premier League season, just in itself, do you see that us finishing second as a failure?
No, not at all. I thought it was like Sini said, it's one of the best seasons we've had. It's the best season we've had statistically. It's just that Man City have got 198 points in 2 seasons. Do you know what I mean? We don't want to be. We're not like we're grown men. We haven't got a victim mentality. I don't do victim mentality.
Well, a lot of people think we.
We
as Liverpool fans.
No, but that's
we do get
that's some
labelled with
dark shit. Some people come out and they need to check themselves with that stuff. But it's a fact that we got 97 points. We play good football, and it's a fact that Man City are also a great team. And to be honest, with more than 1 point worth of investment over us.
But
do you know what I mean?
Do you know? Yeah. Their investment is worth more. There should be more. The gap should be more than 1 point. I get that. But JR, a lot of people would say we kind of choked, we bottled it, whatever, because we were in March, we were 7 points clear. Potentially, we could have gone 10 if we'd have beat. Was it March? I think it was.
No, it was January.
When we,
Let's put that right.
when we played City.
Yeah.
If we beat City, it would have been 10. So that's why I'm saying. A lot of people are saying that our Premier League season was kind of a failure because of that reason.
Not for me. I think Klopp will learn this year if we do get the lead again in the Premiership, not to be cautious, go for it. Because I think we had a cautious period, 3 or 4 games where we got the draws, where he was being a bit cautious, i.e. the Man United and Everton games are what killed us at the end of the day.
I disagree, Jay. Sorry to cut
at the point of the season where we was at as a whole, that's basically where.
Well, Everton away.
I think the Man United game was a big influence for where we.
Man United away.
Yes, the 0-0 because
and
he didn't go
away.
for it, and he wanted a point because I think he thought I will beat Everton next week. There was the last couple of minutes. I always remember that a couple of minutes left against Man United, and he told them just pass it around, don't put it in the box. I'm like, bruv, go for this game.
He didn't want to lose.
He didn't want to lose it, and if that's City, like when City went there, City got the points.
Mane got subbed against Everton.
Yeah, but do you want to know?
How happened?
Just that whole Everton Man U game.
Yeah.
Do you know what? 3 points are better than 2 points, innit? Aren't they? So I feel like with the draws, I think we could afford to lose one of those games. Do you see what I mean? I think if you look at it, City lost 4 games and they still won the league with 98
but they weren't
points.
us. We weren't going to go there, but we have to go there. Unfortunately for Klopp, to win the league this year, and then it's hindsight. I know you don't like hindsight, but in hindsight, well, in fact, no. Before the game started, when I saw the team sheet, Klopp was going for perfection. You had to be perfect. So there's no criticism. We're just analysing it, yeah? So he had to be perfect. And those 2 Everton and United games, he actually went against his own philosophy just for a second in the context of a whole season. Just for about 2 minutes, he went against his own philosophy and we went quite negative. Do you know what I mean? And that's the reason why. I thought at the time, and I said at the time, he should have relied on what he was doing, because what he was doing had only lost us 1 game by that point of the season anyway. There was no evidence. There was no evidence statistically or watching his team's pattern of play that we were going to lose to Man United if we played our normal game. There was no evidence to back that.
And even the City game as well, I don't think he went for it. We were 7 points clear. Go for it. I think if we lost the City game but we went for it, it would have sat a bit better.
Fabinho was on the bench.
And then when he came on, it was like, whoa, this is us now. The rhythm came back and we was flowing how we should. I think he was a bit cautious in that game.
So, Sam, for you, where was the season won and why was the season lost?
I understand what JR's saying in terms of the accumulation of the draws, specifically Everton and Man United having that detrimental effect on our season. Over the course of the season, I would have taken a loss from one of those games as opposed to all of those draws and a win. But I feel like the actual City game was the one game where we could have all we needed was a draw from that game. And I know we would never go and set out for a draw, but that's all we needed. And ultimately, us losing that game was what cost us the league.
Why do you think we lost though? Bit of luck?
A bit of luck. We didn't play
sheet,
badly. You know what I mean? We didn't get outplayed. We didn't get outdone. It was a bit of luck. And obviously, if we compare it to Aguero's goal at Burnley, I think it was, it just went over the line. Ours didn't go over. And that's that little bit of luck that we didn't have at that point. But, I mean, overall, I was happy with the season, man. I was proud. And I just thought like we can't do any more. We couldn't do any more. And I don't have any regrets about it at all. And I don't feel like anyone can say that we bottled it. I don't feel like anyone can have any real regrets about how the season's gone because we gave everything. I did say to you, Slim, at the time that even though we're talking about it in its singularity, if we didn't win the Champions League, it would almost be like it would be a different type of devastation because you know how you teach your kids about hard work is rewarded.
Yeah.
And we especially me and you, Sini, we'll talk about that with our boys a lot. Yeah. And say, look, just work hard, you'll get what you deserve. You get what you deserve.
Yeah, but football's a different animal.
I know it's a different animal, but in terms of on a basic level with boys that play football, you're like, don't worry, boys, keep going, work hard, you'll get your rewards. And for us not to get a reward after that season,
it would have been
devastating.
Devo, proper.
Devastating. It wouldn't be just
Dad.
it wouldn't be just a
You said,
You said,
You know?
and those boys.
You know
So what
It's true.
happened, Dad?
Do you know what's mad? It wouldn't even just be a football thing. It would almost be a life thing.
Yeah, exactly.
Because
Yeah.
football's so important to us. It'd be like, rah, all of this.
I've got to shout out to my kids, man. Like my eldest son, I've got a picture of him when we won UEFA Cup. Me, him, and Gary McAllister in the TV.
Nice.
He was like 1 or 2, and then he kind of remembers the 2005. He's 18, by the way. But since then, I think it's put him off football. Like the Palace game, he just walked away. He was like 15. Like the way he just walked away, I was like. I was like, this boy ain't coming back. You know what I mean? And then I got a text from him, like he just went, "We done it, Dad." And I was like,
nice.
do you know what I mean? And the little ones talking about football, playing football, and you know, football's important in our world. You know what I mean? And
Football is
playground and
life.
stuff. And for them to see them
You know-
win
yeah.
something,
You know what's funny
feels
as
so
well,
good.
because like working in the industry I work in, I see all the kids, right, and like no one supported Liverpool for the last like 10 years. The kids had all Chelsea kits on,
Yeah.
man. Like, but now you know how much Liverpool kits I'm seeing in
Yeah.
that playground now.
Yeah.
I'm like, you know what? Yeah,
It's coming
It's
round.
coming
coming.
round.
Yeah.
It's coming
Do you know
round.
the
Cycle,
maddest
new
thing?
cycle.
Yeah? I was on a tour with my boy this weekend. Just got back early hours yesterday morning, and the trophy was a fucking Champions League replica, a kids version. And they got to the final, and he was captain for fuck's sake. And I was just imagining. I was like, oh my god, it's gonna happen the very next day. Like he's gonna be lifting it. Yeah, they lost the final. They lost the final to Ajax, but I just it just felt like it was all coming around full circle, and it was like, that hard work that you put in, son, it's gonna get rewarded as well. And if that hadn't happened for those players that he's idolised, I don't know how I would have explained that to him, because the Falls challenge, the Brendan challenge, he wasn't pissed off, he wasn't upset about that. He was like, oh, okay, you know, it was nothing because I didn't put as much into it as I had emotionally this time. And
Yeah, the Brendan, the 13-14 challenge was a bit like definitely more of a roller coaster, and it wasn't necessarily guaranteed. It felt a bit like a bit of luck. Do you know what I mean?
I see that. I remember it differently, or maybe I was different. I thought we were gonna win it. I thought we
Yeah,
were gonna
but
win. I was excited.
Thought, I
It had
thought
been
we were
close
going to
for a
win
long
it,
time.
but it felt like more of a
It felt
fluke.
different,
It felt
yeah,
more of a
it felt
fluke, in
different.
my opinion.
But you would take it, though.
Oh, yeah, of course, 100%.
we'll take it, but
yeah.
we were frauds.
I wasn't thinking about it like
Yeah,
that.
we weren't the real deal.
were
We
frauds, man.
weren't like how we were this
No, we're
season.
We weren't 30.
Yeah,
basically, innit?
100%.
442 magazine, yeah, a real geeky magazine. They've
Do you
rated
still
us.
read that?
I was getting subscription before, but I stopped it now. You know what I mean,
Wow.
that's what I'm trying to get to kids to read something, you know, football,
yeah.
and it's decent. But it was, to be fair, to like a 7-year-old, and it's a bit boring. Like, get a Match magazine. But anyway, they voted us 4th best Premier League team in history, and they didn't have to do that. Remember, so we got, and even when I thought about it,
Who
'cause
came above us?
I don't know. I just this is what I heard on like Talksport or 5 Live. Do you know what I mean? And they didn't have to do that, and we didn't win the league.
You can pick up Talksport, but the other one, nah, allow it, man.
Pay up subscription as well.
Hey.
Yeah, we didn't have to. And we step back and think about this team. 97 points.
It's crazy.
Do you know what I mean? Like
crazy.
different squad members, great centre back, great goalkeeper. Do you know what I mean? Adaptable midfield.
You're heading that way, so I'll ask you first then, Paul. Your high for the season. What was your season high? The moment, the high moment for you.
Come on.
There's so many, isn't it?
Think about it. Everybody think about it.
It's got to be. I think it was the highest I felt, and I think it's either the full-time whistle against Barcelona.
Nah,
Premiership, bro.
No,
Premiership.
serious. Oh, in the Premiership.
Yeah,
Sorry,
yeah.
Premier League.
Yeah, Premier League.
League,
Sorry.
league.
Yeah, sorry, Premier League.
League.
League. Sorry,
Oh.
Ryan. Sorry.
No ships around here.
Was it the?
I'll tell you
Origi
mine.
goal?
I'll tell you mine. You think about it, yeah?
Yeah, okay.
I'll tell you mine. It was right at the beginning of the season, and it was that strike from Daniel Sturridge, man. Seriously, because I just felt something in me just said that strike is gonna count later on in the season, and obviously there wasn't much time to go in that game. And I didn't see where we were going to get a goal from. And that strike, and the fact that he meant it, he actually looked up and was like, I'm hitting this.
So you like him shooting from mad places, yeah?
Do you know what? Sometimes. if he produces that kind of magic. But for me, that's got to be my highlight for the season, man. I just like, Yeah, man. I think that's for me when the Premier League ball really started rolling for me personally.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So, yeah, man.
True.
Have you thought of one?
I've got one. My
Go
one.
on.
My one was the Tottenham game, the 2-1 at Anfield. Because at that stage of the season, we couldn't afford any draws. It was literally, we had to win everything. And in our mind, we knew City still had a few run of fixtures where they could drop points.
Yeah.
So it was like in my mind, right, we've got to get, so we've got to keep the pressure. We've got to win this game. And then when that goal went in, I was watching it with my kids and my wife, and like, my kid, they've never seen me go that. I went wild, bro, because I was just getting frustrated as the game was going. Like, oh, we flopped it, and then got the goal went in. It's just fluke, and I was like, wow, this is gonna actually meant to be, you know. Like we could try that 1,000 times. That's not gonna ricochet in like that again. You know what I'm saying? So for me, getting that win and getting Salah back kind of like on the track of, you know,
Scoring.
That was my highlight of the season, just to, you know, keep the momentum going.
Decent. I'm surprised no one's piped up with Origi at home to Everton.
Yeah,
That
it's
was
kind
going
of
to
this
be
happened,
my
like,
one.
yeah. You know what is? I'm thinking about the Southampton game away, but I'm gonna go for the Chelsea second half at home because like we were like coming back into it again. We'd had some disappointment and we'd had some wins, but it was a bit, you know. But we battered them that second half. You know what I mean? And it was Henderson's resurgence, and it was nice after the sort of like more love hate relationship with Salah I was having, to have him score that goal and just remind me why I loved him again.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
rocket.
Like rocket, and he doesn't score many from outside the box.
No, he doesn't actually,
Like,
does he? Yeah.
well, this season
To be
anyway.
fair, he doesn't put his foot through the ball
Like that,
unless
he
he's taking a penalty.
rasped that ball.
Yeah,
So would that be your goal of the
sweet.
season? Sorry, can I ask that?
Goal of the
Yeah.
season. Nah, I'd say.
Have we got on the agenda goal of the season?
I was gonna. Is it? Are we?
I just turned the camera.
I'm
So
trying
you
to.
can- so you can see.
I'm
Can
scared
I
to
zoom?
speak.
I can't
I'm done.
zoom in.
I'm
It's
done.
written down there, goal of the season. But,
Are we
JR
doing
wants
Premier League or the whole season?
Premier League, man.
Premier League.
Yeah.
Premier League.
I'll keep
Sturridge.
this
It's gotta be Sturridge all day.
No, yeah, you
Sturridge.
see.
That goal was beautiful. It was arrowed to perfection. Yeah.
Yeah. Do you know what?
Against our original scum from the mid noughties anyway.
Yeah. It's difficult for me to pick out a goal of the season because I can't. I'd want to see all the goals first again to remember each and individual one before I say a goal of the season. So, you know, host is privilege. Even though I was going to ask the question, I was going to duck out of that one anyway. Seeing as we're there, go on, Sam. Can you think of a season high goal of the season?
Season high for me was always going to be a toss-up between United at home. Just not because of the importance of the game, just because I wanted to get that monkey off Klopp's back because he hadn't beaten United.
Yeah.
And because it kind of buried United at that point. It obviously got rid of
Mourinho sacked, didn't it?
And it doesn't even feel like that important a game now, but we just really needed to beat United at home.
It was,
Doesn't feel important now at all, but for me, I think, the Chelsea game, because I was stressed out.
at home, sorry.
At home, yeah. I was stressed out, and I was like, I can't watch the game. I was about to get on a plane, and you know that feeling like when you have no control and you don't know what's going on, and it's like I can't even get the wireless, can't get the radio. There's nothing, and my plane got delayed enough for me to see those 2 goals go in, and I was like, rah, we're gonna do this because we always struggle at home against Chelsea. And I thought,
Chelsea have a very good record
but to
at our
score
place.
a couple of goals like them, yeah, definitely the Chelsea game for me. That was my high point.
Fair enough. Sini, you got one?
One that I remember clearly is the Divock one, Everton.
Everton, yeah.
Because we was in Sam's front room, we was going mental. We actually all stood up, we was getting ready to go to the podcast.
Oh yeah.
We was all
that's
stood
at my
up
house,
and we
isn't it?
thought it was pretty much finished.
Yeah, we came to
got
yours
out
to
of our
record, didn't we?
seats and we started, yeah. And
Oh,
we
is
all
that when
got
we,
up-
oh, yeah.
we was at mine.
Then
Sam's
I
house,
rewind.
just
I was like,
before
watch
we
it
went to
again, lads.
pause.
And they were like,
yeah,
okay, well, let's get the
yeah.
podcast.
Yeah.
We all had on our stuff ready to go and do it because it's Sunday. Everyone had work the next day, and we pretty much thought the game was done. And like it was like pretty much.
It was 1-0, wasn't it?
Like we was on our way.
1-0,
Wait,
not
yeah.
2-1.
Like we was on our way out.
Well, do you know
and-
what? Celebration of the season, definitely Klopp running on like a maniac.
yeah,
that one, you can't
That
top
was
that.
absolutely
Can't top
mental.
that.
That was mental.
Yeah.
Do you know
The
what,
goal was
yeah?
mental.
Can I just say, I just love Klopp, man.
I love him too.
Running on the pitch, swearing in post-match interviews.
Love
The
that,
guy's
love
just a legend.
He is.
But anyway, go on.
All-round legend.
The guy's amazing. The
Let's
guy's
talk
amazing.
about 6, baby.
All right, cool. Well, let's go goal of the season. Anyone else want to throw in their goal of the season?
What, full stop now?
Yeah, goal of the season.
So, Mane against Bayern Munich.
Premier League.
I thought that's why I said full stop. I thought we all done the Premier League once.
Let him have it.
I thought we done Premier League.
Let him have it.
Paul, you know
Have you
what?
done yours yet?
Paul,
Have
do
you
what
done
like.
yours, Sam?
Do what you like, bro. It's cool.
Just
Oh,
let
but
him have it. Let him have
then
it.
speed it up, Sam. Have you done it yet?
No, you first, Governor. You
I've
first.
done mine. Sturridge.
All right. Mane away to Bayern Munich. It's my favourite.
I thought we were
Since the
doing
goal of the
Premier
season.
League.
I just said go on. I said go on then. Go on. That's what I said.
Yeah. Well, yeah, Mane. Bayern Munich. That goal was just unreal.
I've actually thought about my goal of the season. Actually, it's got to be that back heel for Mane against Watford, man. That was sick.
That goal
That
was
was
sick.
actually sick. The thought, the speed of thought to actually dink it and like the way he hit it into the ground so it would bounce
Jump
up.
up.
Wow. If
He
Messi
played
scored that goal,
Yeah,
it'd be replayed over and over again. It'd be an
over, yeah.
advert by now.
He played up front that game, and that was Origi's first start in months as well.
Listen.
And he scored.
This brings me nicely, to player of the season, our individual players of the season. Mine is 100% going to Mane, 150% going to Mane. Guys, that period between December and January, Mane kept us in the title race.
Oh yeah, he's a monster.
He scored
Longer than that.
He's a monster.
probably.
Yeah.
I'm just short-sighted and just all short-minded. Like,
I'm allowed to talk.
yeah, come on, man. You're good, bro.
What you're saying about he held us. Remember, Salah didn't score for what, 8
games, I think
games.
it was. Yeah.
Who was scoring during that time?
Mane.
Yeah.
Mane.
So I'm with you with that.
Mane.
When we went to the Talk Sport studios, off air, whatever, Tony Cascarino.
Yeah, that's what they
It's
call
like,
it.
lads, because lads, who's your player this season? And he goes, mine's Mane. He said it straight.
That shocked me that Tony Cascarino was a big Liverpool fan. I didn't know he was a big Liverpool
Yeah, I
fan.
didn't know either.
No, I didn't know at the time. I just associated him with Chelsea.
Yeah, and he's like a big Cockney.
Mm.
But he was like, Mane, I think he's terrific. And Mane, they said, I saw a stat or one of our groups, whatever, saying he didn't score a penalty.
No
First
penalties,
of all,
yeah.
he scored more than 5 of his head, more than 5 of his left foot, and
He
more
is a
than
bit of a salmon in the air, isn't he, Sadio?
Got a
Isn't
leap.
he?
He's got a leap. He's got a leap.
Because
Does
he's
it
not
feel-
the tallest, is he?
Nah,
he's a little guy, man.
he's
But then
small, though. He's got
a
good
striker's
leap.
fine.
Strong
Owen
though,
used to
man.
score headers. Michael Owen used to score good headers. Fowler used to score good headers. Do you know what I mean? Like, you don't have to be tall. Gert Muller scored bare headers. Like, I think he scored over 50.
Yeah, Jay House with
Messi scored more than
bringing
more
out
than
these
30
old
headers.
Muller, you know.
Muller, you know.
No,
What-
but it's
when was-
okay. What about Messi then? Messi scored, I think, because sometimes I look at these like, and whenever they say, "Oh, Messi can't score his right foot," and I was like, he scored like 100. You know, he scored like 600 goals now. He
He's
scored
got-
about 30 headers. Well, maybe 20. Do you know what I mean? It's a lot of headers.
Mane for me, man. He's been the guy, man. He's up the levels.
Yeah, crazy.
He's stepped the levels. I don't think while Salah's levels for me have stayed the same. He might have only got 26
Oh,
or
total,
22
yeah.
in the league,
Yeah,
but 20 I
22,
think so 27 all over. I think after
29.
Was it all over?
But that's
overall?
acceptable though, bro.
That's a good.
That's
he had-
exceptional.
So for me, Salah's form is steady for me, but Mane has raised his game. And I just
Definitely.
think-
And they said that like on another TV broadcaster that who would you rather have out of the team, Salah or Mane? And they was like, nah, Salah, we can do without Salah. Mane's the guy.
I think
Mane,
because
yeah,
Mane's the one that he's capable of making things happen. He will create something.
Yeah.
Like I'd go as far as to say his movement's even a bit better than Salah's.
Oh yeah, definitely.
So,
definitely.
Yeah,
And he's less selfish.
yeah,
Less selfish.
100%.
Although
yeah.
we
His
spoke about
energy,
this a few
pressing.
times, at the beginning of the season, these two were beefing, like on some mad level. Like they weren't passing to each other. Man at Goodison Park, Salah's through. He's through. He's running. I'm like, play it.
Square it.
He just it was like a side pass right through the middle. He did literally just thought, no, I'm not going to pass it to him.
Did
I
you
couldn't believe what I seen.
at the last game of the season, when they're going for a golden boot, Salah's greediness was on a different
Yeah,
level.
Mane wasn't
bro.
greedy that day.
Like, no, but Mane would have passed it to
Yeah,
you.
exactly,
know?
that's what I'm saying.
But like Salah was, I was like, he's not going to pass. He's not going to. But he was trying to take every man. I said, bro,
So
this
glad
is
Mane
ridiculous,
caught
man.
up.
But you know what? Yeah, I didn't mind it. I saw it, but I didn't mind it. For the first, I really didn't care. I didn't care. Like the game was, for me, the game was in the bag anyway.
Tell us more what you think, because I know you and Leo were like not too bothered about the Salah thing. What's your overview of it?
Like I understand, yeah, if you can score a sweaty goal, you can secure the bag, and I'm all for securing the bag. But I just think that selfish streak that Salah has is what drives him, and if it drives him, then in turn it drives the team. Do you see what I mean? Like I understand people say like, oh, if he can put it on a plate and he doesn't, then he's gonna put the team like we could lose the game or whatever the case might be. I get that, but everybody's driven differently. And for Salah, it's a personal accolade thing. I think he's got a whole chip on his shoulder about proving people wrong, especially when it comes to the Premier League. We're watching his interview with Gary Lineker before the Champions League game. He was saying, I always knew I was coming back to the Premier League. Said, when Liverpool came in for me, but it wasn't a tough, difficult decision because I knew I was coming back to the Premier League. And Gary was like, you like proving people wrong? He said, yeah, I do. I like to prove people wrong. So he has that monkey on his back where if you say, he's had a poor season, he's going to go all out the next season to show you, no.
But what I don't get about Salah is, and again, like we know he's world class and we're happy, yeah, 41 and 29 now, yeah. When he got the 41 goals, a lot of his goals came from 1-2s. Like he's playing with his teammates. So he's got 10 more goals. This season, a lot of the goals, still great goals, but a lot of the times maybe when you're thinking pass, we're not just saying pass so someone else can score. I'm saying pass to play with teammates, and they might put you back in.
Like Southampton away.
If you pass to Firmino, he's not going to shoot. He's going to pass it back to you. Do you know what I mean? So that's the one thing I thought. So it wasn't like it's not like, well, yeah, it's a bit agreed, but it's more like, mate, you'll get more goals if you play with teammates a bit
Sini,
more.
You're a player of the season.
Oh yeah, Mane.
You say Mane, Sam?
Yeah.
Yeah,
You say,
100%.
so we all saying Mane,
No,
yeah?
I'm Van Dijk.
You're going Virgil,
Going
yeah?
Yeah, all day. I'll tell you why, because Van Dijk,
I like that,
it's
Sini.
got to a point where no dribbles past him. So our defense was
Except the streaker on Saturday.
yeah. Shout out to the streaker.
Yeah.
Jesus. But anyway, I wonder if she was Spanish or Scouse.
Russian.
Yeah,
Russian.
she's actually a adult movie star.
Do you know her name?
Keep it moving, please. Keep it moving.
all right.
Give
Well,
me her
Paul,
Instagram.
your missus.
Her Instagram got taken.
Oh, yeah.
Instagram shut her account.
she won't watch this one. Anyway, Van Dijk. I'll tell you why, because Van Dijk, I think with the way he played this season and the way he marshaled our defence and his obviously godlike talents now, we could have still maybe not. Well, maybe near enough got 97 points if we were clinical enough and got some 1-0s. Because what he done, or more 1-0s, because what he done is just like, I've definitely seen it before. And I said before, around Christmas, at that moment in time, maybe when it was a Champions League break, he was the best player in the world that I could see.
You did say that on here.
Yeah,
you did say he's the best player in the
So,
world.
that's
yeah.
why.
On that, I mean, he's got a good chance of getting a Ballon d'Or this year, hasn't he? Really good.
When's the
chance.
Ballon d'Or?
October.
December, the awards are, though, isn't it?
normally, yeah.
Yeah. I
Do you
think
think
He's in with a shout in terms of
Because
candidate.
if we start the season well
Yeah.
and defensively solid, there's no reason.
But
why
everyone
they-
always says, like, last year they said Van Dijk's the world class, probably one of the best defenders in the world. It's like, no, he hasn't won Champions League.
Yeah.
That's what they kind of judged on Champions League, isn't it?
Yeah.
Well,
So,
no, he's
and he
won
got
it.
that, and he got man of the match.
Yeah.
I'm
So
thinking-
I
I-
thought
he's
Allison
in a
was
great
player of the
shape.
match, but
No, he got the official one.
Did-
for
did-
him.
Did you
I mean,
see?
my personal man of the match?
Okay.
Yeah, like even like when Son tried to run past him and like Son threw his pass, he was like, nah.
Oh, Sini, I beg you, explain to the viewers, how Van Dijk does that. Because you showed me
Yeah.
about a year ago.
Yeah. There's basically a clip that I've seen, and the way that Van Dijk defends. If you watch when he has a player running at him at speed, when he's in a one-on-one situation, he actually goes into a slow jog, and it forces the player who's running at speed at him to actually slow down to his speed. It's similar to, if you've seen the Karate Kid with Jaden Smith, when he does the thing and he controls the other boy, it's very similar to that. And if you watch any of them, there's one where he does it with Mbappe in international football, and Mbappe is broken through into their half, and it's just Van Dijk to beat, and he's going full speed, and Van Dijk is literally just doing a slow, large stride jog, and literally as he's looking at him, he's like, oh, well, he's not moving erratic, and then it makes you start to question what it is that you're gonna do, and then by the time that you slow down and then try to go again, he's there and it's gone.
But do you think that's it's a good analogy?
That was excellent,
Yeah.
Sini.
When
That was
Sini showed me
absolutely
that, I was like,
excellent.
oh,
That's-
so that's how he does it.
You had me eating out of the palm of your hand, bro.
Did his SWOT analysis there, boy? Did his SWOT analysis?
Listen.
But do you think it's because of like Van Dijk's authority in the game, though? Like when they see they're running up
It's
against
his
him, they kind of
stature.
think like,
Yeah, the stature plays a part in it as well. Yeah, it's like when you see a big keeper when you're taking a penalty.
Exactly,
It
yeah.
nearly feels
back
like
in
you're
the day,
shooting a
like
five-a-side goal.
like Schmeichel back in the days, like damn, I must go and pass
yeah,
the beast.
definitely.
So if Mbappe was running against Lovren, do you think he would have?
No, let's not do that. Lovren's my guy. Dayan, I'll call you later, mate. Anyway, so overall, a great season. We're all very proud of the achievement we've made, despite not winning the Premier League. This can only mean that we should go from strength to strength and be challenging next week. But what do you boys think we need to challenge next season? Do we need to strengthen? And if we do need to strengthen, where do you think we need to strengthen?
I think I would like to spend good money. Good money. I think we need to spare left back because Moreno doesn't seem to be getting a shout because Milner's there. You got to spend money on the contract, don't you? So is Milner on his last year now?
He's got one more
There's
left.
talk of a renewal.
Okay, so let's see. Let's say Milner's staying anyway,
Milner's
so he
staying,
can still have.
But he can't. Sorry to cut you, Paul. For me, at his age, he can't be the backup.
left back. No,
He can't. I don't think I want him as the backup left back.
Not
I
if
think
you're
we've got
looking
this
at
boy,
City
this
as well.
Portuguese boy who highly rated at left back.
Not Camacho, no.
Nah.
Don't upset JR.
Camacho's
Don't
right.
upset
I
him.
like Camacho,
I'm
but anyway.
playing.
He's
I'm
not
Yeah,
a right
yeah,
back,
yeah.
by the way, though.
No, but
Camacho,
it's a
but
left
yeah.
back. He's got dreads, and he was saying that they might promote him. But the 100% player we need is a player as close as they can find in class to Mane, Salah, and Firmino. I think that's the fourth man.
Someone
there.
that can play across the front three.
Yeah,
and
simple.
number 10.
I think Klopp's not bothered about a
Any
striker.
suggestions on who would that be?
We need man like Leo for this one. You know what I mean? He's good at the
Who?
Leo.
Who's that? No, I'm joking. Big up Lillian.
Shout out to
I
Leo.
Big up
got roped
Lillian.
in, didn't I?
You need to come-
we
you need
need
to
someone
get
who's
your ass down
we need
there.
someone who's hungry and that's going to buy into it, not somebody who's been at a club, been a big player at another club, and you know,
Come with a rep.
yeah,
like,
they can go
with
to
a
Man
bit of
United or
shit.
someone. That's who
Yeah.
they right. We need hungry players,
What are you
man.
saying about Depay then?
We were
We
linked
linked
with
to
him.
him,
We were
weren't we?
linked with him for quite a while.
Oh, Memphis.
Yeah, the
I'll take
rumours have
him.
died down.
I'll
though.
take him because it's another like Salah scenario. Didn't quite do it. Went away. He's done it in another league. Needs to come back and prove a point.
Maybe
That's
a good
one of the
point.
main reasons I want him as well.
I'll take
Because
him.
he's got a point to prove.
Yeah.
But you know what?
But with,
Yeah.
And the Dutch influence. at
yeah, but
Anfield.
with the point to prove thing, you get things like you're saying with the Salah being greedy, blah blah blah. That you might have that same scenario with Depay. He might, with a point to prove, he might try to do that extra thing.
Nah, Salah's got a lot
I'm
of.
just saying it's
Yeah.
a possibility. I'm not saying it's fact. I'm just saying it's
No,
a
we should
possibility.
I'll clear up for me with Salah. It's just I'm looking for that perfection thing. Salah's got more assists than Mane. Obviously, Mane, I know, has done a lot of crosses because he will play with his left foot. So sometimes you're unlucky.
It's cool. We don't.
Yeah.
I get it, but I'm just saying, like, obviously, we all do it. If we see, obviously, watching football on the television or even in the stands. I mean, the view me and Sam had for the last game of the season, for formation wise, and it was absolutely beautiful.
Captain
We could-
Birdseye, right?
Listen, we could see
proper.
everything, and it was
In the Dalglish stand.
No, newsstand.
No, the newsstand.
Newsstand, okay.
Yeah, so it was perfect. So he made me lose my chain of thought there. Now, Jesus.
Formation.
Huh?
The formation. About seeing
Yeah, it was before
Tactical.
that. Before
We're
that.
talking about
Oh, point to prove.
Yeah. So with the
Depay,
point to prove, mate. Yeah, I mean, he could be. He might come across a bit greedy. Do you see what I'm saying?
On the
Because
flip to that, though, what I would say is that he's probably exactly the same type of player that we normally do a transfer for, who's had a good season elsewhere, and then we provide them with the platform and springboard to take them to the next level.
how old is Depay?
26, I think, 25.
good age.
And
Does
this
he
is
does
it,
he
yeah.
exactly fit Klopp's model? Like, does he run off the ball? All these boys run off the ball. Does he run off
He
the
runs
ball?
a lot off the ball when I see him for Holland,
Okay.
but he plays up top for Holland.
What, in number 9?
Number 9, yeah.
I liked Julian
With
Brand
Winnie behind him,
in the
funny
World
enough.
Cup for the minutes he
Winnie
had.
in the 10.
Yeah.
Wow, mad.
Yeah.
Julian Brand, he only had a few minutes, but I think he hit the crossbar. They were desperate in one. It might have been when they were going out. I think he hit the crossbar. And
What should sign him because he hit the crossbar?
I mean, what I've seen of him is decent. But the main thing is we can trust Klopp, especially with attacking players.
No,
He's-
This is the thing. I can't help thinking that we're going to sign somebody that we're not expecting at all. Being linked with Depay makes me think we're not going to get him because it's public
Yeah.
at the moment.
Right.
You know.
Can I ask a question?
Go on, man.
Go on. Who was? I don't know if you got this agenda.
No.
Who was the signing of the summer for this season finishing?
Alisson.
Fabinho.
Alisson.
It's a toss up between the two.
I'd
of them.
go for Fabinho.
The thing is, the reason why I wouldn't go for Alisson is because Alisson had Van Dijk in front of him, so he didn't have a lot to do. And even though when he did have things to do, he did them well, like you mentioned earlier.
Y'all
I'd have to go
bugging.
Fabinho.
You can't underestimate a goalkeeper. I'll take a goalkeeper over. And I like cultured football, but the goalkeeper's more important than the striker.
I
You know
get
what
what
I
you're
mean?
saying.
The influence he look at the like we always use that word narrative. Look at this narrative or the background. A goalie would have to any goalie come into Anfield that season after Karius done some of the. It was one of the most shocking things I'd seen.
Yeah, but then
in
you
sport.
could argue that any keeper coming after Karius wouldn't have to do much to be better than Karius.
No, but
Very
that's not the
true.
point. That's not the point.
Guarantees
Is the
first
pressure? Because that was when I say
but then you could argue there's no pressure. You can't get any
can't do
worse than
any
what
worse.
Karius done.
There is pressure because
there
of the
is
fee.
pressure because you get to the
Because of the fee
final.
that came with it.
Yeah, you get to the final and you might. Okay, I get your point. But then if you get to a final at least, and the whole thing is like, oh, if they get to ask him questions, you'd be like, he'd be watching the replays, going, I hope I don't do a Karius. That's a bit of pressure. The
Yeah,
guy
but-
came there, man, and he changed our fucking lives, really, for me. Like seriously, what he came. As soon as he came, we were like, "This is a bloke. This is a fucking bloke." And come in
Like
there,
the
and not fucking
stature of
about.
the man.
Yeah.
Bro.
The statue
Oh my
of the
god, the
distribution
distribution
was,
has
like,
changed our football.
ridiculous.
The
No,
Chelsea
I get
game
it.
away.
I get it, but I think Fabinho
Sick.
was the key.
I'm probably with you. You know,
I think
Alisson.
Fabinho was the key to unlocking certain players that we still had in our ranks.
I'll
i.e.
counter you.
i.e. Henderson.
Go on.
Fabinho didn't really start playing until the turn of the year, really.
There you are.
Until it was like, right, this Fabinho's actually the guy. Like, so he's missed literally 4
He-
months.
He missed the butt of the season, but I think when he did come in,
You see
he
the
did-
difference.
You could see the
I-
Oh
difference.
yeah,
Yeah.
I'm with you on that.
We agree, but I look just use that as even statistical way to counter you. Yeah. Although we were all calling for him to be in the team, even when he wasn't playing that good, but we can tell look, this is number 6. Just play the dude. Just don't fuck about. Yeah. But to Klopp's credit, whatever. I mean, Ronaldo started the season, and when we were having the Ronaldo arguments, I think we all agreed that at least in the number 6, he looked comfortable. You know, he played really well. So that I think that proves that we were picking up points anyway. It's a bit like I was saying about Van Dijk being player of the season, that he would have given us so many clean sheets. Someone's just got to fucking get one off their backside to win a 1-0. Do you know what I mean? Alisson, Jesus Christ, like the fact that we've gone back to a final and he was one of our most important players says it all for me.
But I don't feel like Alisson's had to do for us what De Gea's had to do for United.
No, because
And that's the thing.
Yeah.
Fabinho's influence in terms of like in games.
Yeah.
There's more influence through the duration.
That's why.
of
But
That's,
when he
games.
wasn't
That's
playing,
why-
though.
that's why I picked Fabinho. When
Yeah.
he wasn't playing, we got stuck with the Brexit midfield. We kept talking about having no creativity for midfield because nobody could get forward. There was
pass
no
the ball
security
forward,
behind them. And when Fabinho came in, look what it did for Henderson's career. Do you see what I mean?
True.
Having that security, knowing, okay, he's behind me, it's okay. Wijnaldum wasn't great at it, was he? Henderson, we know he's tried that role. He's sometimes good, sometimes bad. But we know Fabinho, he's a solid number 6. So, like you said, Sini, I'm with you there. Influence in the game, he's had more influence. Alisson's lucky he's had a solid back four in front of him all season. So
Yeah, but again, I think that well, again, it could be chicken and egg. I do agree, and like another day, maybe I'll be like, I agree with you. But today, I think that your defense becomes more comfortable.
It's a new day, innit?
Yeah.
It's a new day.
Because it's settled. Because you've got a goalie who can come out and catch without longing it
doing
out.
madness.
Could you know what I mean? Can boot it out. Can throw it out. Can command the box. There's these little things he does when he runs. Sometimes he was coming from the corner of the screen, And I just, where's he come from? And he's come to the bottom of the screen, like on your TV, and he's gone.
Well, I can see him in.
Ball bounces up, and he just
55-inch TV at home. I see everything. You know what I mean, I'm joking.
No, but I think having a like playing the game, when I ever played a game and I had a dodgy keeper, it just unsettles everyone, and it feeds through the team. Everyone starts getting panicky. When you have a keeper that is certified, you're comfortable. Do you know
it's
what?
not all about shot
You know, I
stopping.
fully
But
understand where you're
it's not
coming
just down
from.
to him though.
Yeah,
It's down to the defense in front of him.
Yeah, but that's chicken and egg again, isn't it?
We're talking about Van Dijk and Gomez, Van Dijk and Matip. That was such a solid partnership. He was, you know
He's
what?
well protected.
He was redundant.
Alisson probably hasn't made many saves this season. You know, he hasn't.
His
been
save
exposed
percentage
that
is
much.
high, bro.
No, but he
Yeah,
hasn't made
because
loads.
he has many shots. That's
Yeah,
why.
but then
I don't know.
Then again,
man.
it's like
That-
concentration,
that
isn't it?
that's what I was
Okay,
gonna come
cool,
to.
fine. Concentration, yep. That's obviously he's got that above Karius, miles above. But in terms of the volume of shots, he's protected.
Yeah.
And part of that protection is Fabinho at the base of that midfield. And then you've got the centre backs.
You know
what
what?
I mean? Forget the
Yeah.
fullbacks because they're mostly forward most of the time anyway. But they've got the recovery, so he's kind of
He's
been
not exposed.
He's been cocooned. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Okay,
So-
how about this? This is
exposed.
my final deal, right?
No, it ain't, bruv.
No, this is it. And this is gonna be the money shot. You ready?
Come out,
Drum roll.
Come out.
He's fucking playing with his feet. Like this changed our percentage. Our possession percentage has gone up that way. 10-12%.
Yeah, but you know
we
what?
keep the ball like
I'm gonna
you can
jump in
pass
on
it
that.
back to
Possession has
him.
gone
Hold
up
on.
by 10 but 12%.
I think so. I'm
You know
actually
what?
just
You're
making
making
that
a
up.
shot,
He's
You lying. You lying.
He's fishing.
You always lie.
You lying.
Fishing.
Listen.
But you know what I mean?
Listen, wait,
It
Paul.
appears we've got
Our
better
possession
possession.
could have gone up. Possession percentage could have gone up for we know. But you know what? Yeah, possession at the back for me, that shit don't count, bruv. You can have the ball at the back all you want.
Do you know how many
Do you
goals we
understand?
score from going that
Saying,
way?
though, just in terms of possession, when keeping possession, when it goes back to the keeper and he pings the ball left and right, that's massive.
Yeah.
That's massive.
How much
Or
like
passes it straight through the middle
the
to
Fulham game
Fabinho,
when he
isn't it?
pinged it out and we scored the goal straight away? Gareth ain't doing
Come
that kind
on.
of stuff there, man.
Yeah. No, I 100% agree with you there.
But you know what? Between the two, it's a tough. It's
Yeah.
a good.
Well, look, we're arguing. We're
What was the
arguing
question
about
again?
who's the best. It's a great question.
Fabinho.
Fabinho
Summer.
Allison, innit? Who's the better one out of
Great
them two?
question. But let's
Great
go back
to
to
have
the
them both
original,
Brazilians.
the original subject, which was, you know, like where do we need to strengthen, and
yeah.
you know, anyone else. I was saying, I think we all agreed we need someone to fill in across the front three. Excuse me, and maybe the number 10, like someone that can play
Creativity, I
all
think we're
them
lacking
roles.
still.
We're linked to Fakir again.
I'd take him.
He
Yeah,
must
it looked
be
like it.
upset he ain't come.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If we
Coutinho.
get a 10,
Sorry.
I mean, we have to change our formation again to fit him into the side every time.
I don't think I'd change the formation again. I'd think I would. Maybe actually, you'd go with the Fabinho and Wijnaldum, or Fabinho and a Henderson. So you have two sixes.
4-2-3-1.
So you have,
times,
so
yeah.
you have two sixes. Yeah,
We had that during. We didn't talk about that. We had that during the season. Didn't we? We had about 10 games, and it got Salah back into form.
In fact, you had a real issue about it because you were like, every time we play it, we win. We win.
We did for a while.
I know,
Yeah.
but
But it
now
just
with
didn't look
season,
good.
it just didn't look good. It
Yeah.
wasn't impressive.
Yeah,
to
it
look at, but then
wasn't
we didn't realise
fluent.
that's actually this was our gear now. How we were playing.
Yeah,
and we
yeah.
weren't flooding forward, but we were still being effective. But we were just more controlled.
You know what Barnes said, which was fair enough, and I think what he was trying to get at was Oxlade-Chamberlain and Keita haven't really played this season, have they? So I think a lot of the midfield talk.
Classing them as new signings.
I don't think it's. I wouldn't spend any money on
That's
the midfielder.
exactly what Barnes said. He said you got Gomez to come back like a new signing, Oxlade and Naby.
In fact, he didn't even mention Keita. He said Gomez and
he said
Ox.
and
Yeah.
Ox. So there's like two and a half signings, if you like. So that's a big.
I felt like Naby was just starting to show his true
He
colours.
was,
yeah,
and then
he
he got
was.
injured. Would any of you be disappointed if we didn't make any signings?
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. You have to freshen it up. You have to.
We need to look. When Shaqiri was playing wide, we talked about this as well. That's why I thought he should have played number 10 when we played that 4-2-3-1, but he was off the right. He literally, I don't think I saw him dribble past a player this season. And I'm not criticizing, maybe it wasn't his game, but with pace and knock it past him and go towards the goal, he was more cut inside and try that diagonal pass or a shot or a cross. Do you know what I mean? Get himself into the middle of the game. So we need another Mane or Salah. We need another Mane and Salah for me.
Yeah, because Sturridge is out. He's going. We know he's going.
Yeah.
So we definitely need to.
Is he 100% going?
I
His
think contract's finished,
I
right?
think so.
What, this season it's
It's
finished?
finished like
Yeah,
Oh,
it
it
was
is?
a year
Okay.
extension, yeah.
I didn't know it was finished this
yeah, it's
season.
done, man. So
Would you keep him?
No.
No.
Cheers for everything.
No
but
disrespect,
It's
but
time. It's
yeah.
just
now,
your,
cut
your,
ties.
your shelf life is done now. It's like
Because
thanks a lot.
even if you think about it, Origi, he's a god now, and hopefully he will
Legend.
move on. But
Divock
because of his
Origi.
general,
Who will move on?
yeah, because of his
Origi?
no, I'm saying because I'm sorry, Sturridge will move on.
Cool.
I think, but for me, Origi's there's always for me a doubt because he doesn't get to play that much football. Klopp doesn't rotate the front three much, and sometimes he looks really rusty. So having an Origi and a Sturridge is too much of a risk. Do you know what I mean? Like have Origi there for that, like he seems to have the touch, and then
He
Brewster.
can play. He can play. Sorry, Paul.
Yeah.
Sorry to cut you, Paul.
Go on.
Origi can play across the front three
Exactly,
as well.
but
Can't
especially
he?
off the left anyway.
Brewster, I hold my hands up. I've never really seen him play. Could someone fill me in about him, please?
Only Chris.
Yeah,
Serious.
Chris
Seriously.
has watched
No,
him
Chris has watched him a lot.
He's
Yeah.
tracked him.
Like
Oh.
obviously you teams under
Man's tracked him,
23s.
you know.
I watched nearly every game in the under-17s World Cup, and he was just as good as Hudson-Odoi and Foden. Do you know what I mean? It's just that he was like always on the end of things. But when they had a free kick against one of the teams, I think he scored a hat trick, and Foden and Sancho left in the beginning of the tournament because he got called up for Dortmund. It was mid-season, wasn't it?
Oh,
So he
okay.
had to play that game. So he had to leave because of just his career progression, whatever. And it was a free kick. I saw Foden standing around it, and Morris White or Gibbs Wright from Wolves was around the ball as well. And my man's just stepped up, top corner. Do you know what I mean? He's so lively, but he's quite powerful, but slight. Do you know what I mean? He's just like a modern striker. Do you know what I mean? And again, when it comes to the only thing I criticize or take like a argument with Klopp is sometimes maybe tactical stuff. But that's easy because I'm hyped for it and I'm on WhatsApp. You know, I'm no one. But I don't argue with him with players.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? So if he's going, Brewster, you've seen him in training, then I believe him. Do you know what I mean?
That's better.
I love your Klopp accents, man.
I
Seriously.
believe him.
Outstanding.
Yeah. What's that? His best line of the whole after the Barcelona games. He goes, "These boys are just what I say is mentality giants." Mentality giants.
Oh man,
Sick.
crazy.
Yeah, so I trust
So-
Klopp with players.
Okay, so we're definitely saying across the front three, midfield. I think we're quite solid
We're
in midfield.
sorted.
To be fair, I think we're.
Don't let
swamped
no
in
one
midfield.
go.
Only if we get a 10.
But I don't really. I know it's midfield, but it's more in the attack. You know what I mean? So
but
attack,
if
midfield,
we,
defense.
if we get a 10, then I'll say leave the midfield.
Well,
as it
why
is.
though, Sam? Why do we? If you got Keita and Oxlade-Chamberlain, if they're fit and having to fight for their place,
No, but he said,
rotate.
he said leave it. He said if you get a 10, leave it.
Yeah, so I said if we get a 10,
Because I reckon
as
what
a
Sam's
kid,
going to say. Tell me if I'm wrong, Sam.
Yeah, but
If we
why
don't
even get a 10? Why even get a 10? I mean,
because so we can switch between the formations and actually have a creative number 10.
Exactly, so
who
that's
is a
why
creative
Sam's
number
saying
10
leave
and
the
not,
midfield, 'cause if
and
you
not end up dropping
Yeah.
Firmino back there.
Yeah, if we don't get a 10, Sam's going to say we need a creative midfielder.
okay,
Yeah, I
but then
can-
what if we? Okay, so that's because what you've seen with our team, right? But City are one of the most creative teams in Europe, and they never play with a 10 because they play with two 10s in a way. They play with two 8s who are blatant ultra attacking.
Yeah, look at our 2-8s.
Well, ours could be Oxlade-Chamberlain and Keita. You're not happy? You're not having them? I'm having them. I love them.
Go?
Well, but I'm talking about the fact that if you want to play that attacking, you don't have to go
Klopp
and buy
Has
an extra
a
player.
selection headache.
You don't have to go and buy an extra player.
I still think if we're gonna improve that area, I'd rather have a 10 than another midfielder.
I would have another fielder, to be honest. I don't think we need
I'll
any.
go for a 10.
For me, a left back, right back's kind of covered. Gomez can play there
Yeah.
with Trent. So a left back and maybe, like you're saying, a 10. Because
And
Brewster can
maybe
come
even
in.
a 10 and alternative to Salah and Mane, like your David Neres from Ajax, or somebody who's going to push them and is actually a wide forward, not Shaqiri, because Shaqiri clearly ain't, is he? He was just
Shaqiri never got a chance to play number 10, did he? I wonder why.
he did come in central.
temporarily,
He played
it
central
wasn't
a
like
lot.
a full
When he
stint,
was getting
yeah.
into the team, he was playing in central.
He was playing right.
Didn't he play central
He played-
against Southampton
he was
first
playing
half and then
central,
got
I'm
hooked?
sure he
Got
was.
dragged
got
in it.
hooked.
Yeah.
And he played really well.
Firmino
yeah,
played
yeah,
10.
yeah.
Firmino
Yeah.
played 10 and Salah played number 9. That was the whole point.
Against who?
For about 9 games straight, Salah went up front.
Oh, yeah, when he was trying to
And
get play
Firmino
back into
played
form.
10.
Yeah.
So would you keep Shaq?
Yeah,
Yeah, definitely.
30 million, you can't worry about that.
There's
He's
more to
still
come.
young. He's still young, yeah. He's
He's got
definitely
great attitude.
How old is Shaqiri?
No, he's not young. He's 27.
26.
But
Yeah, but
27.
he's younger,
that's
than,
young,
he's younger than me,
man.
innit?
It's his prime.
In football ages, he's just about to hit his beat.
Yeah,
so that's
yeah,
young.
Yeah.
27. That's young for me as well. Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, definitely 30 million. You can't go wrong. Do you know what I mean?
And keeper wise, would you keep Mignolet or get rid of him?
Get
I
rid
don't
of
think he
Mignolet.
wants to
No,
stay.
I'd actually like to keep him because
I
I
don't
think
think he
I'm
wants to
hearing
That's
a lot.
not nice to the guy, man. He's had a whole year.
Hold on, that's what I'm saying. He's
But
doing
he's
a lot
been
around
great
the
behind the
ground,
scenes,
around the
man.
change room and stuff like that. A lot of people like him. I've heard a lot of good stuff about him. Like, but he's gonna want to go. He's not gonna want to play second
Free
fiddle
him,
for
man.
another
Free
year.
him.
It depends how
He's gonna
clever
wanna go.
he is or his agents. Because I was sort of fascinated. I wonder what agents talk about with their players. So will they have a conversation when, say, we sign 2 new squad players or 3 ones? They have a conversation. These boys are quite good. Klopp said you can play every FA Cup, League Cup game. This time you might actually get far.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Because he may stay. Because you get trophies. Do you know what I mean? And if he starts FA Cup games, we've got a good squad game. He'll play every
Yeah,
game,
he'll
and Klopp's
play.
not going to drop him off to
Yeah.
win the European Cup.
So, just to make sure it's clear for myself and some of our listeners, Carriage can't come back now.
Do you know what?
He can
I
come
don't
back
know.
and get the rest of his
2-year loan.
stuff.
It's a 2-year loan. So
It's a 2-year loan.
he's got
Come and
another
get
year.
your
He's
stuff.
got another year on his
got
loan.
another
If
year.
they
Your
don't-
locker,
if they don't take the option to buy him, he comes back, doesn't he?
But he can't have many years left after that because he was with us for 2, then he's gone for another 2. Come back must be the last year of his contract.
Yeah, sits on the bench.
Pay him off in it. Let's see that.
Yeah,
Man.
but you can just pay him off. Yeah, but he's getting better. Apparently, I read he's getting better at. Where's he? Besiktas, is it? Yeah, I heard he's getting better.
You know
Good
what?
on
You've
him.
just said something crazy.
Good on
and
him.
I don't know if I'll be able to sleep tonight. There's a chance. You know what? Klopp's still quite a loyal person.
What?
If
Nah,
Mina
he's
Lake
done.
asks to leave, he'll be let him leave, wouldn't he?
We've been linked
And
with
if
a goalkeeper.
Carrier says
No, I
I'll
don't
come
think
back
the
and
fans
sit
will
on the
have him,
bench.
though. I don't think the fans
Well, if
will
he's
have
sitting
him.
on the bench, Klopp thinks it might think it's worth.
I don't,
know
think,
what?
I don't think
Klopp-
he'll want to come back.
Yeah, because
You know?
he didn't want to
Did
come
you
to
see
the
that
Champions
interview
League
about it? He
final.
didn't want to come to the Champions League final because he didn't
Yeah.
want to be a distraction to everyone.
What do you mean come?
He didn't want to
he
be in the
got invited.
stadium.
He got
Didn't want
invited
to
to
go.
come,
As a
and
player.
he didn't
Yeah,
want to come.
he didn't want to
declined.
come and watch.
He didn't want to come and watch
Thank God for that.
because him being around
still a
is
Liverpool
the biggest
player.
divisive
Bring up.
influence.
That'd have been- Yeah.
Yeah.
Can you imagine? Because people can be like, oh shit, look.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Makes sense.
Klopp is not stupid. You know what I find about Klopp? He says in interviews, I don't know about social media and all of this
course
stuff,
they do.
He's saying
but
he
he
does.
knows everything because I was watching something with him and he was saying, it was about when he's showing the baby pictures. I think it was that anyway. He was saying, Shaqiri, everyone was asking me, where's Shaqiri?
Yeah.
Play Shaq. Why don't you play Shaq? Like, he sees all the things fans say
They
on social
all
media.
do.
He
They all
knows
do.
and
They
have
all
it,
do,
yeah.
bro.
That's
They
why
all
in the
do that.
press conference he mentioned Henderson. Like he goes, I don't want to say anything, but I will say something. Yeah, you also might Jordan Henderson, but now his own has picked up the European Cup.
Anyway, on that note, just to wrap up the Premier League season, I think we all feel it's been a successful season, and we all feel we're capable of kicking on next season. And I, for one, are predicting a stiffer title challenge. I think we've got that experience now of leading the Premier League. So I think next time that happens, I think we can hold on to it, man. And I can't wait for next season.
I personally think City won't get 98, 97 points next season. I think it'll be like high 80s.
Yeah?
Yeah.
I think their concentration is going to be Champions League next season.
It's
They
gonna
might
have
not
to
be in
because they
it,
know they're getting a
Because
ban the
if
following
they
season.
get a
innit?
ban the
Or the
following
following
season,
season.
they're going to have to go all out. And also, I think for not just us, I think for the entire Premier League, somebody else has to win it next
Yeah.
season. They can't win it 3 times in a row
Yeah.
because if they do get banned the next season, no one's getting
yeah,
it.
it's a
then, even if they've
domination.
got
This is
all
the
their
maddest
resources.
thing. All those fans that were hating us, didn't they realise we're 2 seasons away from a Celtic-style domination in the Premier League?
Yeah.
No one wants that.
We're the only
So
saviours to it, you
thick,
know.
This is it.
We are the only saviours to it.
We are the
Hashtag
closest ones to them.
Anyone but
Yeah.
Liverpool was one of the stupidest things I've seen in my life. We all talk about like juju and collective juju and vibes and stuff. When Man United were running things, yeah, and even Arsenal, like, fact they couldn't go to a Premier League club without getting smashed to pieces. Only their talent and their will would get them victories. People just bend over and wait for the City to fuck them up the
Yeah,
arse.
that's annoying, man. That is so annoying.
Can I just say, Paul, you do every time I do like a nice little wrap up, you always open up the door again, bruv.
I thought that's why you love me.
No,
Are you 2 boys, no?
no.
Not no more.
Anyway, it's people. It is about that time. So you know, obviously it's summer now. You probably won't see as many podcasts as you have been seeing throughout the season, but we will still be putting out content. you know, because obviously there's a transfer window to talk about and stuff like that. But so keep your eyes and ears open for when we're going to be pushing out content. Also, if you haven't joined the Anfield South WhatsApp group, you know, get at us on Instagram. Yeah, what are we on Instagram? At South Anfield. At Anfield South. What are we?
Oh, mate.
It's a bit so people.
Tell them what time
It's
it is.
very late. It's 1 o'clock in the morning. Yeah, after the whole weekend of the Champions League. So I'm not at it. But you know what? You just find us on socials, Anfield South. Yeah, DM us your number. You can join the WhatsApp group. Yeah, like, share, comment, subscribe, all of that good stuff. But for now, people.
Wait, hold. Can we give Slim a round of applause for hosting the whole season?
Thank you.
Very good.
It's been a pleasure.
Debut season.
It's been a struggle to hold the seat at times, but you made it through.
Yeah, I have.
You
And
made it through.
it has been a pleasure. And
A few leadership challenges as well.
do you know what? On a serious note. No, on a serious note, yeah.
I love my job.
Paul, let me be serious. On a serious note, yeah, it's come with its perks, yeah. Like, thanks to Paul, like, I've got to be on TalkSport a good few times, and I've absolutely enjoyed those moments. They've been absolutely amazing. Like, hopefully there's more to come. As long as Liverpool keep winning,
Yeah, I
they'll
think
keep
so.
calling.
That's
So
the gig,
yeah,
yeah.
thank you to Paul. But boys, it's been a pleasure, man. It's easy. For the what it is like the last time of the season. I've been your host, your boy Slim.
Yeah.
Today we've had with us our man Sam over there to the
Yes,
left.
people, soon come.
Sini,
Next season, people.
big up JR.
Thanks for inviting me. Thanks for bringing me down. I'm so
You
gassed.
are one of the team,
Hey,
JR.
it means a lot to me, you know. Hey, Paul, my guy, you know.
Hey.
Clyde.
And
Clyde,
last,
Clyde.
but definitely not least, the man that wants the throne, Paul.
Let's all together. Let's talk about six, baby. Let's talk about you and me. Let's talk about all the good things and the bad things that may be. Let's talk about six.
Peace.